In this tutorial, you will install Visual Studio Code and implement your Unreal Script integration into your programming environment, allowing you to program ahead of time much smoothly and effectively. The reason you want to do this is to avoid stuff such as writing from Notepad. Programming ahead of time can be done from as simple as Notepad, but Notepad lacks a lot of features that Visual Studio Code allows to implement, such as color functionalities, syntax highlighting, um, uh, filling, so it fills automatically, and of course, checking functions assuming they are loaded. But the best part about this is having an integrated workspace environment where you can access every single source code, every single workshop, and your own mods. So you can uh, match and stick to make sure everything working as intended. Such as I now can access the actor, which is a big, massive file that literally Unreal Engine 3 uses everywhere. And this is in the source folder. How is it all done? Well, let's start by making a new window. And as always, it's recommended to go to codevisualstudio.com to download it immediately. You can click download for Windows and that's it. Cool. Once you can download it, it will give you some prompts, but it doesn't matter. Also, in my setup, I have this on the right. It's actually on the left, but don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You go to extensions, you type Unreal Script, and you install Unreal Script by Elliot van Oeintvangen. I'm sorry for butchering your name. You do great work. It's actually gets frequently updated. It has been getting quite very nice updates recently. And that is basically the setup. You have now successfully got Unreal Script integration. How do you make a workspace? You click here on File, and then Add folder to Workspace. Let's see. Okay, there's no folders. Cool. Let's say Add folder to Workspace, and there are three type of locations. Your local mods, which is where your all your mods will be located at. The ahead of time source code, and the engine, that's two, and optionally the workshop. The workshop is not necessary, but if you would like to access like completely in a breeze content such as that, you can just add also the workshop. To do this, we go to your library, right click properties, and then go to install files and then browse. And let's start by adding the content of the ahead times source code. It's all located in development source. Has everything. Had time game content and had time game contains every script that the game was made. The rest is native engine functionality for Unreal Engine. What you do is we're going to copy this, and then we're gonna paste it here. And I'm gonna select source, and I add. There we go. Now we have the folder containing every single functionality for the Unreal Engine and the ahead time source code. And if you noticed, these are all ahead time files. Anyways, next thing is we're going to add another folder. So we're going to do this again. And thankfully, VS Code remembers the last place you were in. So we're going to backtrack to ahead time game, mods. Mods contains every single folder of every mod you made or you extracted here. So we're gonna go back and select mods, and then we add. And there we go. Now we have the folder for mods. And then finally, and this is optional, you don't have to do this, is add folder to workspace and go to Steam Apps, Workshop, Content, and then 253230. Which to know which one it is, it's actually based on the game's ID, which in this case, if we go here, you notice the link at the top left. It says 253230. That's the app's ID. and ahead in time is located in 253230, which I whoopsie. There we go. And then if you see, we got all these workshop mods, and if I got open them, you can kind of notice it has pretty familiar structure for your local mods. And so we're gonna select this and we add. And then there we go. We have our workspace setup. To save the workspace, we click File, Save Workspace As, and then we're going to save it somewhere. My recommendation is to go to Documents and create a folder called Visual Studio if it's always in main, and then make a folder called Workspaces, and then name it something familiar. In this case, I would name it basically Ahead in Time. And thankfully, I already made it, so I'm just going to make it Ahead in Time example, because I don't want to ruin my own workspace. And there we go. Now it's Ahead in Time example. And there we go. If I close this and I try to open it again, it remembers all of this. Now, if this is not set up correctly, say you accidentally clicked new window and it closed, it shows you recents, right? So you can click on Ahead in Time example and it will open it again. And there we go. You have now a working Ahead in Time environment that you can capitalize on from many of the features. For example, let me open one of my mods. Apologies. Okay. I wanna see every instance of something reference. Say this class, which is give it a moment. It's loading. There we go. It shows me now every location this class is referenced. Wonderful. I can now also check where is this also referenced. It seems like it's been using these locations and also in this area. I can search the entire source code, and what I like to do is I like to add is class actor space like this. So if I don't wanna like search some for a specific class, I can do that, and now I can open official Unreal Engine files, and this also works fine when it comes to like pathing. Like if you hold Control left click, say to an extend, it will open that file. And this also includes everything else like Unreal Engine. This is an Unreal Engine. This is literally this is the base class for every single file, which has every single tool. It has operators, it has vectors, vector 3, vector 2D. There we go. And yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope this was very informative, and happy modding.